We live yet? Right, I think we're live now. Yeah, okay, so we are. This is my BATE Borisov save, which I started last week at the beginning of isolation, and I kind of figure that I'm making some good progress. And I kind of feel like it's now's a good time to show you what we're doing. So I've done all the background stuff as you'd expect. Um, I guess this is just a way to save my progress more than anything. So without further ado, I guess I should probably to log in. Basically, you can see my lovely kit there as a coach. So I've tried to kind of replicate the colours. I don't know if maybe it should have been predominantly yellow with the top blue, but yeah. So I've done a lot of background work. It's taken me a good, I would have said, a day to get me to this stage, or the majority of a day around other tasks. So um, first thing I did was inherit the squad. I took a look at it, and it's a very aging squad. So the challenge, I think, really is going to be to bring through a few of these younger players. But you can see, particularly in midfield, you've got two 30-year-olds, two 31-year-olds. BATE Borisov are rated as coming top, and they have got a good squad. Their star player, I think I kind of sold their star striker. So I've done a few transfers, which I'm just going to go over. I think that's probably a good place to start. This is very much going to be a work in progress. But as things stand, whenever you're ready, come on. Right, so two signings that I've made. This chap on a free transfer, I trialled him. We just kind of needed another ball winner. But he can actually play both. So he can play the ball winning role and he can play the box to box. So I kind of found him useful in that, and kind of thought for a free transfer he'd be a good buy. And he's also a little bit younger, so he's got a bit of time to develop. Um, for me, the strikers were rubbish. So I think this guy was the main striker. Um, and for me, he's just not good enough. Um, so pace is quite low. Again, he's 29, so he's getting on a bit. His finishing was low, in my opinion, lower than what it needs to be. Um, he's all right, but he certainly isn't elite. So I got rid of him, and I actually bought in this chap here, and I literally just went for the best player I could. So finishing of 16, so he's going to be able to bosh them away. He's got really good potential. We got him signed down till 2023, so that's 3 seasons, and he's got okay physicals. For the next year, I'm going to keep working on his physicals because he turns 21 soon. But at the moment, his finishing's okay. I want to work on a bit more his possession and his mentals. So training wise, I'm actually training him as a pressing forward. You can see there that if you have him in pressing in support, he's going to be working on a lot of his physical bits. His finishing's already quite high, so if you get it on support, he works on his passing and of course his heading, which is why I've gone for aerial, because that also works on bravery. So hopefully in the next year or two, that will really bring him on. He's already got places shots as a player trait, which is one of my favourite player traits in a striker. So I thought he was a good bit of business. The other player that we're really working on getting is this chap, Miguel Aziz, from Arsenal, and I've actually arranged it. I didn't realise, but we won't be able to get him, I think, until basically the end of the season, so Christmas. But having been that I've been Arsenal before, I just kind of feel like he would be a good player to have. Young again, good potential, and we know that he'll continue to develop at Arsenal. So a good signing to make, in my opinion, and well within our possibilities. And then we've got Soroka, who I believe we're trying to sell, or we've agreed a transfer for. So we're looking good, quite well financially. We've got transfer. I had to adjust the transfer budget and things, but it means that we've got just under $1 million in transfer budget, and we've got a huge wage budget available, which means that really we should be able to run at a bit of a profit. As I said, we're already quite a good squad. Pre-season was a little bit tricky, and I think that some of it is them trying to get to grips with the new tactics, because I'm not really playing the way that they're set up to play. But anyway, yeah, so we had a Super Cup which we won 1-0, and that was really the first game. I think we pretty much dominated that, if I remember right. I think we pretty much battered them. Milic is the other, if you like, the backup striker that we've got there. But from what I can remember, we battered them. Yeah, we absolutely. So that was good. And then our first league game. I'm not really holding the cup in much high regard, but we played a first league game. We won 4-1. Again, we absolutely battered them. I don't know how good this Slavia Moisir are. I know that in real life, these two teams played, and BATE Borisov actually lost 1-0. But again, it was another one of those games that we battered them. So now that we're in sort of the league season now, it's time to sort of start moving on. But as I said, the concern we've got here really is the centre of midfield and just the ages of them. So we've got Dynamo Brest next, which is another cup game. You'll see as well, the tactics I'm playing are a 4-4-2, similar really to the Arsenal Invincibles tactic that I always play. So it's going to be possession based. So really, I think what we need to do, if we look at the club finances, we're relatively stable. But I think what we really need to be looking to do is trying to generate a bit of extra money for the club. So we are going to be a bit of a selling club. It's not something that I've ever really done, is be a selling club. So I'm quite excited to take the challenge on, see if I can start adding value to some of these players. That's kind of the challenge that I want to take on here, is maintain a decent level, but try and run at a profit. So it's good to look at the finances there and say that we're on 8 million, that if in a couple of seasons, we can be a lot higher than that, that'd be great. But to do that, I do think this guy's going to be integral, because we bought him, we paid well over the odds, we paid 1.1 million for him, but I can see, if he has a good season, I can see him probably moving on for a much higher fee. But if you look down the squad as well, like, there's not much value in this squad because they're all getting on, and this is the challenge that we've got. So this is going to be all about player development. I keep badgering. I've really sorted out the coaches in training and really had to bring in a few new ones and kind of work my magic. So we're training at a relatively high level, I would say, and always looking to improve, including, where is he? Edgar Davids there. And we've also got, who else did we get? We got someone else. Oh, that was it, Julio Baptista as well, which I thought was quite interesting. So we're trying to optimise the training as much as possible, which isn't always easy. Hopefully that'll put us in good stead and players will start improving. But you can see the difference, in between him and the player that I signed, like the difference in quality there. So I reckon within 2 or 3 seasons you're going to look at, pretty much the whole squad being replaced. Certainly the midfield, we've got to be working hard to kind of improve the midfield. So it's one of them really. Belarusian Cup semi-final first leg. We've only played, one game in there, which we absolutely whomped to a victory. So yeah, the plan is to just keep scouting players. I haven't actually sorted out the scouting regions yet, I don't think. No, so I kind of need to work on that as well. But you can see the sort of teams that we seem to be attracting. And also, we kind of want to work. What we really want to be doing doesn't seem to be an under-18s league, which is odd. But what we want to be doing as well is signing local players. That's what we want to do. So he's got a good knowledge of Russia. So I think generally speaking, all the players that I'm coming up at and seeing that look good are Russia. So let's see if we can get some young Russians. Really, we should be winning most of our games, I think. Looking at the opposition. I also need to develop a slightly more defensive tactic because, well, how's your luck? How long's he out for? Oh, 1 day. I can deal with 1 day. He might even be able to be rushed back, maybe. So we've got basically the choice of 3 strikers, and obviously, how many? Oh wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in team of the week. Well, that's good. Yeah, this is one thing I've noticed. A lot of the players get ill and stuff. So we've got 2 players basically out, and this is where squad depth is so important. Before this spreads, send home. Are you kidding me? I mean, look at that injury list. Okay. So Nastic can come in. I'm not worried about that because they're quite. Nastic isn't bad actually. He's just as good as that Filipovic anyway. You can see they're quite similar in quality. But really, we don't want this Shuriken being out for too long. But Milic is our next best striker. Soroka's I've already arranged a sale. It's getting to know all the player names as well. That's the thing. Okay. So yeah, I saw this player Igor Stepanov, and I'm going to try and make him, because he's got a good finishing ability anyway. I'm going to try, and he's young. I'm going to try and get him. I'm going to try and bring him through. Don't know how well that'll work. He was our backup left winger, Mukam. So it'll be Milic up front. And you just watch when we've got Milic up front, just how we struggle to score. I think it's really, really evident. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll show the Dynamo Brest game, and I will show the Islock McKinsey. Right. It's quite surreal as well, like starting the game in February, when you're used to. So you can see the difference there. I know that I'm playing him sort of out of position, this Milic. So he is actually better than the star rating suggests. But what I liked about Milic was also that he's half decent vision, passing and technique in comparison to the lad I'm selling, or sold I should say, Soroka. And his vision, his passing, his technique was just a little bit lower, even though he's got better physicals. When is he joining them? June, so it hasn't got long to go. See, this is the problem, because there's so much rotation in this squad. Like, players get injured and ill really easily. I think Smirnov, vision, passing, technique. No, it's this guy, Berezin. See, he's better now. As in, he was unfit. I'm tempted to put him on the bench because I think above Williamson, I think he's a bit better. And again, Williamson. So yeah, and hopefully as well we get a decent youth intake as well. You can see why they're all getting colds. So formation wise, it's very similar to my Invincibles 4-4-2 tactic. So we've got, but I've actually, rather than inverting it, I've got it right. So you've got Milic in the Thierry Henry, Williamson in the Bergkamp role. You've got Nekahai number 33 in the Bobby Perez role, Dragoon and Barger in the middle, so Vieira and Gilberto Silva, and then of course you've got a Skivish in the Freddy. You've got Nastasic as the more attacking of the two wing backs, who's a complete wing back, whereas Kopitovic at the right back playing sort of the Lauren role. And then you've got Filipenko and Zolkov. I think Zolkov is the ball-playing defender. Filipenko, of course, just being a central defender. Tell them to carry on when they finish last match. Thomas Kuchak? No way. That can't be the one who was at West Brom. Was. Oh, I forgot he was at United. There you go. Well, as I said, we struggled to score. I like the fact that we seem to be dominating this game. I'm going to get a little bit braver. Milic, good. Bring Skivish, great. Come on, Williamson, finish. Oh, you're kidding me. Come on, at least get the shot away. Go on. I know it's a bit early to say, but that's an example of how, I might even go into attacking, Yeah, no, not the most amazing finisher. I could see myself taking him off later. Definitely outplaying them. We've been all over him. Let's get that out. Where's our centre forward? Where's Milic? So, quality, you can see the difference in quality, can't you? To say the Premier League. Right, first thing we're doing, Williamson, you're coming off. And we're going to put on you. Next, we need a bit more thrust in midfield. And Scavish looks knackered. Let's do that first. Oh, hold on, it's a highlight. Oh, pitch. Dragoon. It's our ball-winning midfielder. I beg your pardon. Okay. I'm going to do this just because he's on a yellow and he's shattered. I don't want to lose a player. Okay, plot twist. I'm going to play him as an advanced forward. See how that gets on. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. I think it's going to have to be really patient with this team because I just don't. Until I can start bringing through players that play in the positions that I want them to, there's going to be a lot of this sort of making do with what we've got. And that's a prime example. We've battered them, absolutely battered them. And without our star striker, just can't get it in the back of the net. Not good enough. And they need to know that. Okay, well, at least our star striker comes back. I think as well you can come out. You missed a sitter. Could have won us the game. I'm quite happy with my two centre-backs. They seem to be doing okay. The right back's doing all right as well. And actually he's quite a good backup at right back. He was knackered. So what's his physical condition? Didn't even say on there. Okay. Who was my backup? Were you my backup right winger? I feel like you were. I can't remember. Let me consult my notes. Feels like a long time ago. Okay. So you were my first choice right winger. Yeah, and you're still shattered. Yeah, okay. I wouldn't make any more changes than that, to be honest. Islok Minsky. Yeah, really getting used to these sayings, these player names. I want you to get match fit. So I'm going to actually say 90 minutes. And you. Not both of you two, to be fair. You watch one of them will pick up an injury. That Vasiljevic, I actually haven't got down as a player. I think Mukem Vasiljevic. I think he's literally on there because I've got no one else. Where would you play him? I mean, he can finish. Where am I training him to play? Striker as well. Oh, I know who you are. Yeah. All right. How have I missed you? Glinsky. Tell you what, he's not much of a fullback though, is he? I think you're another one that I plucked out of the reserves. Yeah. Do with working on your mentals a bit, couldn't we? Alright. But you should really come in for this. There you go. Arsenal doing well. Oba. 5th in the Premier League. It's about right, to be fair. That's interesting. So who scored? Igor Stepanov did well. 7.5. That's good to know. So, again, until we get an idea of just what these teams are like, he's always training really well. Igor Stepanov. Hopefully that potential ability will go up. Like you can see, he's constantly improving. It's the physicals that you want to look at, the jumping reach, the strength. 17 years old, so the next year is going to be big for him. But like he's basically, if you like, I'm expecting that Ilya Shirkin guy to up in value at some point, and then that's when we'll be able to say, hey, listen, we're going to sell him on for a profit, and then start to work on that Stepanov. Hopefully by then he'll be in a good place to pick up. It's about as good as it gets, really, unless. Yeah. Right. Damn it, I don't like saying that one. Let's try and get a few greens up. Okay. Yeah, again, it looks like we're growing into the game. Is nothing happening in this game? Nothing's happening. Oh, what an eventful first half this is turning out to be. Right. Get creative. Inspired. Good. Could you be inspired enough to sort of create a chance, maybe? Push them up a little bit higher and see if that makes a difference. What? Oh, penalty. There you go. Who's going to take that then? Is that Bagger? Dragoon, that's it. One of the central midfielders. There you go. 1-0. Now we've got our asses in front. And another highlight. That's unusual. Spent the whole game waiting for it. Winners. Out. Okay. Right. Our right back is shattered. And this is the sort of thing that you're going to need. So if your right back is shattered, let's put on you. Let's put on Smirnov. Dragoon scored the goal, but it was a penalty. And it's still only on a 6.6. Bagger's the defensive midfielder. They haven't really created anything. Let's put him as the central defensive midfielder anyway. You haven't been very... Let's put on Stepanov as well. We've got our goal now, so I want to just give him as much experience as possible. And actually, let's play him as an advanced forward in. Get him chasing things down. I think he's more at home as an advanced forward. Keeper. keeper again. Show some passion, see how they... I don't like nervous, apprehensive. And how are they suddenly coming into the game and creating all these chances? Out. What's that? Offside. Right. Final 10 minutes. Oh, does that count? Does it count? It's an own goal. Let's have a look at the replay of this. Either way, it's 2-0. It's been... Right. Well, we'll take it. 2-0. Game over. I do think I can make a decent player of that Igor Stepanovs. Like, I really do. And the fact that he's got the name of someone in Arsenal's history as one of the worst central defenders we've had in recent years. Good win, boys. Well done. Pleased with that. Let's bring the morale up. Hopefully we can start pulling things together. What is the sort of tactical familiarity of this squad? Familiarity? It's getting pretty good, to be fair. I need to create another tactic. But yeah, that'll do nicely. I think if I was to play him in one of his more familiar roles, like I think he's a poacher by trade. He'll be all right as a complete forward in support mode. So once he reaches 21, I'll be training him as a complete forward in support mode. Then that'll be where we are with him. But for his value to drop to 625 after we paid 1.1, you know. So there we have it. Okay, well, hopefully this has been insightful, and I will continue to put these up, probably one a day at the beginning. I'm going to continue playing and getting a few more games under my belt. I think Dynamo Minsk are our rivals, I'm pretty sure. So I'm actually going to make Dynamo Minsk probably come back for that. Will be like the next game that I sort of stream live. It's probably a good way to do it. Yeah, Dynamo Minsk are like our fierce rivals, so I'll come back for that one. So we've got quite a few games to play in between. So anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully it's a bit of an insight, and yeah, I'm still finding my feet with this team. So let's see. But hopefully we'll get a decent intake this year. Probably badger the club to see if they're going to improve anything. And we'll see where we go from there. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. Yeah, as I said, I will be back. So no worries there. Thank you. Take care.